Tonight at 6, a professor has filed a lawsuit against Kent State saying they were denied a promotion because they're transgender. TV2 spoke with their attorney to get the latest.
It's been a snowy day out there all across Northeast Ohio. How long will it last? Details in my full forecast straight ahead.
Taylor Swift made a statement about the way Ticketmaster handled the sale of her Eras Tour tickets. And we have the latest on why the Justice Department is investigating.
And a lovable bear is getting the royal treatment. These stories and more as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good Friday evening, Portage County. I'm Anthony Furiga.
And I'm Sydney Brown. Thank you so much for joining us.
We begin tonight with our reporter Jacob Brooks, who spoke to the lawyer of G. Pat Patterson, a professor at Kent who is suing the university for denying them a promotion because of their gender identity.
Jacob, what can you tell us about the lawsuit that is being filed against the university?
Hi guys, that's right. A professor at Kent's Tuscarawas campus is suing the university for discrimination after they say they didn't get a promotion because they're transgender. The 25-page lawsuit was filed in federal court in Akron on Tuesday. It alleges that Kent State discriminated against Dr. G. Pat Patterson, an associate professor of English at Kent's Tuscarawas campus. Patterson is transgender and uses they/them pronouns. They allege they were discriminated against due to their gender identity.
They were wronged in the legal sense because after being promised the promotion, which is an advancement in their career, that was revoked in favor of an unqualified candidate for the same position, and Kent State did that purely based on Dr. Patterson's gender.
Patterson has been at Kent since 2018. According to the lawsuit, they say they were told in November 2020 that they were being recommended for the position of director at Kent Center for Sexuality and Gender Studies. But 7 months later, Patterson says the promotion was rescinded because someone worried that they would, quote, erase women in the Women and Gender Studies curriculum. The lawsuit claims this was a Title VII violation. The Supreme Court said employers can't discriminate against anyone because they're gay or transgender because it's a violation of that law.
We've got a little ways ahead of us, but we're confident that because the Supreme Court agrees with us that employees should not be discriminated against based on their gender, we're confident that we'll make some good progress here.
The lawsuit also alleges that proper procedures weren't followed when deciding if Dr. Patterson could transfer their tenure to the Kent campus, including the deliberations and how the votes were tallied. Patterson's attorney is confident they have a case.
The facts alleged in the complaint are pretty comprehensive and detailed. We're very confident in the facts once that gets going in the lawsuit and the law is squarely on our side.
I reached out to the university for a response. University spokesperson Eric Mansfield said they usually don't comment on pending litigation. Patterson is asking for their promotion to be restored, punitive damages against Kent State, as well as compensation for emotional distress.
Ultimately, like anybody, Dr. Patterson wants to be free to pursue employment opportunities and advancements in their career based on the merits of their background and education and experience, and not to be discriminated against purely based on their gender.
So it's important to mention that since the lawsuit was just filed on Tuesday, there's no word yet on how it will progress through the courts or if it will go to trial. I'm Jacob Brooks, TV2 News.
Thank you, Jacob. Kent State has been named one of the most engaged campuses in student voting by the All-In Campus Democracy Challenge. All-In is a national nonpartisan of civic nation organization and engages more than 9 million students from more than 950 institutions. And Lamar H. Huyton, Kent State's senior vice president for student affairs, commented that he was proud to see Kent State receive such recognition.
Kent State's Modista Fashion Show is tomorrow at 7 p.m. The Modista Fashion Group is independent of the university to encourage further creativity. They promote diversity while unifying minority students with the love of fashion. The theme is Machina, the exploration of fashion and tech. It centers around the retrofuturism and atom punk aesthetics. It draws on the 60s and the emergence of technology into our daily lives. Tickets are on sale for $5.
Today, Kent experienced the first significant snowfall in the area, and on your screen now, we are looking at some of our photos that were sent in from viewers seeing their snow experience, and wow, it was crazy out there today.
It was crazy. Yesterday, our Ashtabula campus was actually closed, and the flurries that were hitting campus today, and we received more than just a bit of a dusting, though. And we will now take it to our weather anchor to see what the experience is like out there. But these photos were awesome. I'm so happy that our viewers sent those in.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Portage County, Northeast Ohio. Hope you're having a nice Friday evening out there. I'm TV2 weather anchor Odin Amador-Gorby with your Friday evening weather forecast. But let's first talk a little bit about what happened today in Portage County. So today, our area in Portage County was under a level 2 snow emergency due to all the lake effect snow that has been coming off of Lake Erie. It snowed so bad that I-76 in our area was shut down for hours due to the accident caused by the snowstorm. So it was definitely a very rough day out there for people that were traveling due to the snowstorm. And yes, we were hit pretty badly by it. But thankfully, things are starting to calm down now. As we look at you're currently in Kent right now, things are a lot more calmer. 27 degrees out there, cloudy skies. It is definitely a nicer evening out there. Dew point at 18 and winds east at 15 miles per hour is definitely a gorgeous evening out there. A cold one for sure, so bundle up if you're heading out and about. And as we look at your Northeast Ohio temperatures right now, we are dealing with lows in the upper 20s, even a little bit of 30s. 27 in Kent, 30 in Cleveland, 28 in Sandusky, Mansfield at 26. It is definitely a cold evening out there. And as we look at your hour-by-hour forecast for your evening, it is going to be mostly a partly cloudy skies throughout the evening tonight, 7 o'clock, partly cloudy towards your 9 o'clock. It will remain that way, and 11 o'clock with temperatures with lows in the lower 20s. That's all I have for now, folks. In my next update, I'll have your live weather radar. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Thank you, Odin. A motorcyclist crashed into the back of a car on Lake Street Thursday afternoon. The car was stopped when the motorcyclist struck from behind and fell onto a driveway about 2 car lengths away. Kent Emergency Medical Services took the motorcyclist to the hospital for serious but non-life-threatening injuries, and the driver of the car was reported to not be harmed from the accident.
A Canton woman was sentenced for faking her daughter's terminal illness and asking for thousands of dollars from the community in support. Authorities say the mother, Lindsay Abul, faked the girl's illness and led her to believe she didn't have much longer to live. She will be in prison for 4 to 6 years and will have to pay over $8,000 in restitution to theft victims.
Not only did the snow hit Northeast Ohio, but Buffalo, New York as well. How New York residents are dealing with the storm that hit their area.
Sharks are attracting visitors to Cuban islands. Why people are fascinated by the apex predator of the sea.
Thanksgiving is this Thursday, and holiday season preparation has begun.
TV2's Joe Malbin has tips on how to stay safe this holiday season, whether you travel or stay home. Hi, Joe.
Hi guys, I have what you need to know for this holiday season. While the winter season is known for its chilly temperatures and cold weather, Minnesota Fire Marshal Jim Smith warned that this season is a pretty dangerous one for house fires. Here's what you and your family should do to prepare.
We have colder weather, we have snow. It also leads into our holiday season.
But State Fire Marshal Jim Smith knows this season is also the most dangerous for fires.
Many times it's a preventable accident that caused this.
Accidents, he says, can start in your kitchen, your furnace, or because of a space heater. 35 people died in Minnesota house fires last year. More than a third of those fatalities came between Thanksgiving and New Year's.
It's so difficult to look into the eyes of the father, the mother, and the kids, and they're looking at their home ruined by fire. You compound that by having it at the holiday season, and the kids who don't understand everything, they do understand that all their Christmas presents have burned up.
So if you're cooking next week or this season, Smith says keep a close eye on the food.
You will see flames fairly high.
And if you do have a grease fire,
always have the lid close by and slide it over the top and then turn the burner off and let it sit.
Also, Smith says working carbon monoxide detectors.
This is your test button right here, and you can see that it works.
And smoke detectors.
We ask that you always test.
are small investments
You can hear the one upstairs.
that could end up saving your home or your life.
If you do all of that stuff, you're going to have the greatest holiday season you've ever had.
Millions of people travel over the Thanksgiving holiday, and many of those people travel by airplane. But the problem many Americans have is what to do with the food they are bringing. Many have questions as to what food can be taken with them on a plane. The TSA has provided a guide on what foods you should and should not bring on an airplane. You can find the full list by going to the link at the bottom of your screen. Traveling can be one of the most stressful aspects of the holidays. Many will travel this Thanksgiving in a car or on a plane, so here are some tips to help reduce stress. Experts say to make sure to take control of your posture and breathing. Take deep breaths, as sitting for long periods of time can have a negative effect on breathing. Drink enough non-alcoholic fluids to help reduce cramps, and finally, make sure you stand up and walk around every once in a while to reduce the feeling of sick. Well, Thanksgiving is just under a week away, and campus will be closed starting next Wednesday, November 23rd. Reporting live for TV2, I'm Joe Malbin. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Joe. And if you're traveling to Buffalo, New York for Thanksgiving, you might want to think again. Heavy snow has been anticipated all week, and they are now saying this snowfall is reaching historic numbers with 4 feet of snow in some areas.
But now we have more for snow and winter weather in Northeast Ohio. Hi, Odin.
Hi guys, welcome back everyone. Here's a look at your statewide temperatures right now. We are definitely dealing with a cooler evening out there. Definitely feels like winter for sure. 29 in Akron, 30 in Columbus, Dayton at 28, 33 in Cincinnati. It is warmer in the cities due to the heat island effect, but in the countryside it's a lot more colder, as you can clearly see in Lima at 26 degrees. And as we look at your weekend forecast, let's talk about it, folks. We are going to be dealing with partly cloudy skies, 32 degrees. And it'll be partly cloudy in the morning, but then cloudy skies will return for the afternoon hours, so definitely be ready for that. It's definitely going to be a cold evening out there. And as we look towards your Sunday forecast, we are going to deal with partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Skies won't clear until the evening, but it will be 28 degrees. It will be a cold evening out there, a cold day out there, but it will be a very nice one for sure. And as we look at your 7-day outlook, let's talk about, folks, we are going to be dealing with mostly cloudy skies for your Saturday and Sunday, but then towards Monday we'll start to see a little bit of sun, but then Tuesday we'll start to see some real sun coming out with highs up in the upper 40s. And then towards your Wednesday we'll do mostly partly cloudy skies with highs almost hitting 50, but it won't hit 50. And we will continue to have cloudy skies through your Thursday, but then rain will start to come in for your Friday with highs in the upper 40s. So it's going to definitely be a mostly uneventful week for your Thanksgiving holidays, but it should be pretty good for Thanksgiving for sure. And as we look at your live radar, oh, I guess we're not having live radar. Anyway, that's all I have for your weather forecast, for my Friday evening weather forecast. Please stay warm and bundle up when you're heading out. Have a great weekend out there, everybody. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Thank you, Odin. The Attorney General of Maryland, Brian Frosch, has identified 158 Roman Catholic priests in the Archdiocese of Baltimore to have been sexually and physically abusing more than 600 victims over the past 80 years. The court filing stated that for decades, the survivors reported these abuses to the church, and the church covered up the abuse rather than holding the abusers accountable. Both boys and girls were abused, with ages ranging from preschool to early adulthood.
A federal judge in Florida on Thursday blocked the Stop Woke law pushed by Governor Ron DeSantis. This law restricts certain race-based conversations and analyses in colleges. The ruling is a temporary setback to the powerful Republican governor's agenda to combat what he describes as woke ideology of liberals and critical race theory, a way of thinking about America's history through the lens of racism.
Ticketmaster is under fire after canceling the general sale of tickets to Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour. They released a statement that they were overwhelmed with people on the website during pre-sale and now have insufficient remaining ticket inventory. Swift herself wrote today that she finds it extremely difficult to trust outside entities with ticket sales and excruciating to watch mistakes happen with no recourse. The Justice Department has opened an antitrust investigation into the owner of Ticketmaster.
Now there are updates on the Uvalde mass shooting. Lieutenant Mariano Pargasm, the acting police chief on the day of the massacre, has resigned from the Uvalde Police Department. According to CNN, Pargasm was aware students were alive and needed to be rescued. Pargasm resigned ahead of a special meeting scheduled on Saturday that was called by the city to decide his fate.
Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes may be facing a prison sentence of up to 20 years from 4 counts of defrauding investors. These charges included wire fraud of over $140 million. Experts say Holmes may face substantial time behind bars, and federal prosecutors want her to pay $800 million in restitution. But Holmes' legal team argued that her decisions were influenced from an abuser, Sunny Balwani, but Balwani has denied such claims. And the U.S. and South Korea conducted a transporter-erector launcher striking exercise today in response to North Korea launching an intercontinental ballistic missile. These exercises demonstrated the ability of South Korean F-35A jets to strike targets without being detected. And through these drills, the U.S. and South Korea showed their, quote, strong will to sternly respond to any threats and provocations.
The World Cup will not have beer cups this year. Organizers have banned the sale of alcohol around stadiums in Qatar after last-minute showdown talks. FIFA announced on Friday. While supporters can purchase alcohol at official fan zones during the competition, the sale of beer at the matches themselves across 8 stadiums and 64 total matches will not be available. Not all fans are happy about this announcement, but most can agree the lack of communication from the organizers is disappointing.
The island nation of Cuba is hoping to attract tourists to the island by letting them swim with sharks. This is one of the few places on the planet where visitors can safely swim with bull sharks. The other goal is to teach visitors why and how sharks are necessary for the ocean's ecosystem. And while it may seem like a scary concept, there has never been an attack on a client or guide on the island.
Millions of crabs are migrating right now. Where and why is this happening?
I'll have a preview when we return.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Good evening, Portage County. Hopefully you're all staying warm out there. I'm Blake Goloja with your TV2 Sports Report. The undefeated men's basketball team will host Chicago State at 2 p.m. tomorrow at the Mack Center. The Golden Flashes are coming off a 94-68 win against Arkansas Pine Bluff on Wednesday, where the offense caught fire with 5 flashes scoring in double figures. This is the first time Kent has started 4-0 since the 2019-2020 season. Chicago State is sitting at 2-2, but also coming off a win against Valpo University on Wednesday. As long as the Flashes can slow down the Cougars' leading scorers Elijah Weaver and Wesley Cardett Jr., they should be cruising into an impressive 5-0 start to the season. And the 3-6 Cleveland Browns versus the 6-3 Buffalo Bills game has been moved to Ford Field in Detroit because of the blizzard in Buffalo. This hurts the Browns as it gives Bills quarterback Josh Allen perfect conditions for a revenge game after losing a thriller against Minnesota last weekend. Nick Chubb will have to stay hot for Cleveland to have a chance as he has scored 4 touchdowns in his last 3 games. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. on CBS. And the 6-3 Tennessee Titans travel to Lambeau Field to take on Aaron Rodgers and the 4-6 Green Bay Packers for Thursday Night Football. Rookie Christian Watson. And it's going to be Tennessee. Dante Hilliard is going to score the first touchdown for the Titans. Aaron Rodgers is going to answer pretty quickly here as time ticks down in the first quarter. He's got all day, and you cannot have that man have all day. It's rookie Christian Watson. He had 3 touchdowns last weekend. First one on the board for the Packers. They did miss the extra point, 7-6 Packers, and King Henry's going to punch it in from 4 yards out. Aaron Rodgers, though, is going to strike back with a double play action here. Look to the left side. Who else? Christian Watson. 2 touchdowns on the day, 5 touchdowns in his last 2 games. Ryan Tannehill, though, is going to strike one over the middle at first. The referee's going to signal incomplete. Let's take another look, though. Tight end Austin Hooper's going to grab it, go down. He survives the ground, and he has a catch. They challenge. It's a touchdown. 27-17. Packers need this to have any chance, and they are stuffed. Aaron Jones goes nowhere. Tennessee hangs on 27-17, and they improve to 7-3 on the year. And that is all I have for sports. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at TV2 KSU Sports for updates on all things Kent State athletics. I've been Blake Goloja. Have a great weekend, Portage County.
Paddington the Bear has found his way into the Royal Palace and now into the arms of children across the UK. Find out why when we come back. Welcome back. Paddington the Bear is on to the next adventure.
More than 1,000 Paddingtons and teddy bears that were left outside the royal residences as a tribute to Queen Elizabeth II finally have a new home.
The little stuffed animals sure got a lot of fun getting the royal treatment and having picnics at the royal gardens.
But it is time for them to fulfill their duties and cheer up kids at Barnadour's Children's Services, especially the nursing unit.
Hey Sydney, why did millions of crabs cross the road?
Why?
Because they do every year in Australia.
What? This year it was the bigger than ever, and Jeremy Roth has today's look at this.
Watch a crazy, creepy, crawly crusade caught on camera. Tens of millions of red crabs recently began their annual migration in the Australian territory of Christmas Island. Every year, the crustaceans make the pilgrimage from the island's forest plateau down to the sea to mate and spawn. This year may have been bigger than ever, as experts say the red crab population has more than doubled in the last 5 years. The fascinating event captures not only the awe of nature lovers worldwide, but the attention of locals who take great care and preparation to protect the species and its awesome annual wildlife spectacle. You know, realizing your cell phone is missing is a terrible feeling. The fine folks at Southwest Airlines must understand this because they recently posted a video showing a pilot literally lending a helping hand to get a passenger's marooned mobile device back to its owner. As a flight was taxiing out in Long Beach, gate agents realized the phone had been left behind and quickly sent a ground crew out to the plane, where a pilot was caught on cam literally hanging out the window to nab the forgotten phone. And from flying the friendly skies to eyes on the skies in the upper Northeast, where folks probably can't see squat thanks to serious snowfall blanketing the region. But look, if you don't have to hunker down and stay safe, maybe take a cue from this Buffalo area puppy that had serious can't beat 'em then join 'em energy as it went for a first ever frolic in the fluffy Frosty Flakes. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
You guys, that dog was so cute.
Yes, it was.
When
That's probably what the Browns players would have looked like if they kept that game in Buffalo.
you were so right. No, but I don't know if they would have been as excited as that dog was to see
Probably not,
it.
no.
Yeah, but
That dog was adorable.
that dog
Very
was adorable.
cute.
But the snow today, oh my gosh, guys, it was crazy out there. I was like struggling to walk over here.
No.
Like the wind too.
I was listening to Christmas music while I was out there. I was like enjoying.
You were in the spirit.
I was in the spirit today. Like that snow really brought me to cheer today.
Are you one of those people that when it's after Halloween you start listening to Christmas music?
I listen to Christmas music all year round, man. Like I listen to Christmas music
Really?
all year round. I just love this time of year. It's a beautiful time of year.
Fair enough.
What about you guys?
Oh yeah, Mariah Carey right after Halloween.
Yes.
On
Oh
my
my God.
playlist.
That's the first song on the queue. Okay, love to hear it. Love to hear it. Another cute thing was Paddington.
Oh, I love
Oh, yeah.
Paddington. He's
I
so
know.
adorable.
That was just a really
Adorable little
wholesome
teddy
story,
bear.
I feel like, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movies, but man, I know they have the marmalade sandwiches in that, and I want to try one of those so badly.
Well, there you go.
I love the scene where the Queen Elizabeth was literally handing a sandwich to him and stuff like that. I love that
The
scene.
best.
Yeah.
And that is all the time that we have for you today.
Thank you so much for joining us.
For updates on these stories and more, please visit our website at kentwire.com.
And all of our social media platforms at Kent Wired. I'm Blake Goloja.
I'm Odin Amador-Gorby.
I've been Sydney Brown.
And I'm Anthony Furiga. Have a great and safe night, Portage County.